Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful tulip knit like not tapestry but just pattern. I'm gonna show you how to make this beautiful piece, and we're going to be knitting without knitting. We're gonna be using a Tunisian knit stitch, which you will absolutely love because you only need your crochet hook and some yarn. So for starters, we're going to chain 11. So for this Tunisian knit stitch, we're going to work onto the back side of these chains. So we're going to skip this little bump because we're going to work onto these bumps that form, and we're going to insert our hook onto the very second bump. And that is because we already have one stitch in our hook that counts as one. So we're just going to continue and inserting our hook onto that back bump and yarning over and keeping our stitches in our hook all the way down our row. So now we should end up with 11 stitches in our hook, and we're going to yarn over and chain one onto that very last stitch, yarning over and pulling through 2 of our stitches, and 2 and 2, and pulling in pairs all the way down our row. And okay, this is where we get to the fun part of this knit stitch like stitch. So as you can see, there is this little kind of like inverted U that forms. We're going to insert our hook onto that very stitch, if we want to call it that. So we're going to insert our hook. As you can see, let me do it closer. There we go. So we're going to insert our hook and go through just that stitch. We're going to pull our yarn and we're gonna keep it within our hook. So again, we're going to insert our hook, yarning over and pulling our stitch. And in this row, we're actually going to introduce our very first color change. So we're going to continue to do this 5 times. So when we reach our 5 stitches in our hook, instead of yarning over with our white, we're going to yarn over with our new color. And since I'm going to make a tulip, I'm going to use this green color. And we pull it, insert it, and that's it. We drop it because we only need that one green stitch in our second row. And just we continue to pull our very white stitches for our background. And let's not forget our last stitch. Please make sure you actually catch those 2 loops and pull. Of course, chain 1 onto that very last stitch, pulling through pairs, course, until we get to that green color. So we drop our white and we continue to pull, and that's it, because we have our very next color switch. And we continue all the way down our row. And now for our very next row, we're going to do 4 white stitches and 3 green. And the rest of our row should also be white. And as always, chaining 1, pulling through 2, and when we see colors change, we just switch. And we continue with our white. And of course, as you can see, the knit stitch like stitch is already forming with our rows. The next row is going to be exactly the same, so I'm going to fast forward. And then for our next row, we're going to chain only 2 white and then 2 green, 1 white, 1 green, a white, two green, and the rest, of course, white. And the next row is exactly the same as this previous row that we made. So for our very next row, the next immediate color is green, so we have 1 white, 2 green, so another one, and then 2 white, 1, 2, and then 1 green, and then 2 white, 2 green, and the last stitch is white. And then our very next stitch we're going to do 4 white and finally we get to introduce the color that we want for our tulip. In this case, I'm going to go with this kind of like burnt yellow, and we do 3 with this yellow, and the rest should be white. We're actually already done with the green, so if you don't want to, you can just snip it off and weave the ends later. Our next row is exactly the same, so I'm just going to speed it up. For our next row, we're going to do 3 white, and then should be 5 yellow, yes, 5 yellow, sorry I'm counting it on my head, and then 3 white. Very next row, we're going to do 3 white stitches, 2 yellow, 1 white, right smack in the middle, and then 2 yellow, and the rest should be white. Then our very next row should be 3 white, 1 yellow, 1 white, 1 yellow, another white, another yellow, and the rest are white. We're actually done with the yellow, so we can snip it off. The very last row of all white. there we have it. This is the Tunisian Knit Stitch, where you knit without knitting, which is always very fun. You get all the fun without the stress, and you can always make multiple different things with this stitch. I hope you liked it.